Guys, Simone Fan 101 here, and this is my Lucha Underground review from last Wednesday. Now, the reason why I'm doing this so late, I had a lot of college work to do. I was at college 6 hours early yesterday in order to do some work. Whether or not I succeeded or not, that's up to the other people to decide. But, with that said, this is the Lucha Underground last. A lot of shit happened in Lucha Underground last week. Um, Tonight, and just a quick update on the Aztec Warfare contest. Tonight is Aztec Warfare, so if you guys are watching this video, watch Aztec Warfare either tonight on El Rey. There's one showing and then a replay after the first episode's over. If none of you guys have El Rey, I will send you a link of the episode to your either to your YouTube channels or your Axe.fm accounts, however you see fit. With that said, guys, the Aztec Warfare contest. Now, I said in my previous video that up until that point, there would be no more contestant drawings. I made an exception on this one. A new at wrestling YouTuber and Ask.fm user called Kian, or I think on YouTube he's called Mr. Wrestling Machine 53 or something like that. But he was brand new. Me and other Ask.fm users just met him the other day. Well, not met him, but just introduced him to our little circle, as you would say, the other day, and he was just brand new, and he said he literally made the count the day before. He made the account a day before, so he didn't really have that much time of an option. So I decided to cut him a break, and I gave him a spot in the Aztec Warfare contest. I ended up pulling out number 21. Why do I get the feeling he's gonna win? Maybe it's not him. Maybe it's it's bullshit. But maybe it's still Mil Muertes and Prince Puma. Maybe it's because I've heard some suggestions. Maybe it's Puma and Muertes in the final two. Maybe it's maybe it's Mundo and Puma again, and they're gonna rekindle their rivalry. Maybe it's Phoenix and Pentagon. Those two are Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix are brothers in real life, so maybe it's brother versus brother. I don't know. Maybe it's Phoenix and because Rey Mysterio is going to be in the match. Maybe it's Phoenix and Rey Mysterio. Maybe it's Puma and Rey Mysterio. The face of Lucha Underground versus the king of Lucha, in a sense. Maybe it's Muertes and somebody like new. Maybe it's Muertes and Pentagon. God, that would be awesome. Maybe it's Muertes and Cage. That'd actually be the shit. Mil Muertes and Cage going at it. That would be that's a war I would love to see. It was just fucking. I can't wait, and I'm probably gonna enjoy this match more than the Royal Rumble. Even though I enjoyed the Royal Rumble a hell of a lot more than the last 2 years. There is that. We still don't know what Dario Cueto is going to do with with Matanza, who made his on-screen appearance in one of those, TV-like segments last week during this episode. I will get to that. But a lot of news happened last week, because I want to get to this. I didn't want to put this episode in with the overview of wrestling last week because this was a pretty goddamn big episode. I did it for Drew Galloway. I didn't want to do it for Phoenix, and Drew Galloway didn't deserve it either. So Phoenix, you're my guy. So Lucha Underground last week, it had I know I started off the review and my overview of wrestling last week, but my feed cut off, so I'm basically going to start over from the beginning of the show. We opened up with a backstage TV segment between Katrina and Phoenix. Katrina saying that she has thrown everything at Phoenix and he still rises. She says it's the powers of the Phoenix that she desires, and she also says that if things were different, not things are different. Well, yeah, things are different, and she stayed with Phoenix. She wonders if she could truly live again. They made out, and gotta admit, the idea of Phoenix and Katrina being an on-screen couple actually is pretty awesome. Probably because Katrina's freaking hot as hell. If you don't like Katrina for being hot, Katrina's hot. If you don't like that, something's wrong with you. Now, after the kiss, she said that was our final kiss. She would basically sick Mil Muertes on Phoenix to destroy the Phoenix forever, which did not happen, thank God. The first match of the night was actually a pretty short match, but a pretty good one. It was the Disciples of Death versus the Disciples of Death defending their Lucha Underground Trios Championship against the team of Ivelisse and Helico and Son of Havoc. Short match, but it was a very entertaining match, nonetheless. The team of Ivelisse, Son of Havoc, and Helico, Team Ivelisse won the titles back. The match stipulation was that if Team Ivelisse lost, they would have to leave the temple forever. That did not happen, so yay. It was a very entertaining match with one guy, one of the disciples, I think it was the purple guy, he got just destroyed at the end there, which wouldn't bode well for him by the end of the night. After that, we didn't have much. This was mainly a straight up match. Oh yeah, forgot about this. See, this is why I write notes down, because I forget shit. What ended up happening was we got a backstage segment between Johnny Mundo and Prince Puma. Puma was training backstage. Mundo came in the back asking how he was doing. Mundo then said that he was going to win the Lucha Underground Championship. Actually, no, that stipulation was added later. He was going to win the Aztec Warfare, and he said that he took it easy on Puma last year when they were the final two and Mundo lost. That's what he said. This eventually got Puma all pissed off, and he actually punched through a punching bag with the sand falling out. I thought that was pretty cool. After that, we got another talking segment, but it was we went back to the segment between Rey Mysterio and Dragon Azteca. We've been to have several of those in the past month, and Rey had 2 shots of tequila ready. He asked the new Dragon Azteca to sit down, or Dragon Azteca Jr., however you want to say it. And he asked what was the occasion. Rey said that his training was complete, but that he got an invitation. He read the letter, and it was apparently an invitation into Lucha Underground. And Rey showed that he got an invitation too. So yeah, next week we're gonna see both Dragon Azteca Jr. and Rey Mysterio in Lucha Underground. And by next week, I mean tonight. Awesome. Afterwards, we had a match. And oh, by the way, they both took the shots of tequila. Afterwards, we had a match between Tejano and Chavo. This match wasn't that good, sadly. And a lot of that honestly has to do with Chavo. Look, I like Chavo, sort of. I should have said I liked Chavo, but the last time I actually liked Chavo was when he was in TNA, and that's only because he was doing the tag team thing. Or on the multi-man match thing. He wasn't doing much singles matches. Because he has a tag team with Hernandez is actually pretty good. But Chavo, nowadays as a singles wrestler, he's just not as good anymore. And Tejano, and this is bringing Tejano down. To the point where a couple people, including the Saw Monster, is almost giving up on Tejano. Not totally, but they have real doubts in Tejano, which is sad because Tejano is actually really good. But the problem is he's stuck with Chavo, and hopefully the storyline with Chavo is over now that he kicked his ass. Tejano beat Chavo, so at least the right person went over. And afterwards, Tejano beat the shit out of Chavo. I still like Tejano. I think he's really good. Um, Afterwards, we got a brief backstage segment between who was it? Oh yeah, it was between Mil Muertes, the Disciples of Death, or was it what I like to call the DoD, and Katrina. It was only like a 30 seconds to a minute long, but basically what it was Muertes beating the ever living shit out of the Disciples of Death for losing the trio's titles, and I think he killed one of them. I believe the guy who took the pinfall he killed, and Katrina said to spare him. Muertes killed him anyway, and then she said, or not, and then they both basically, and that was basically it. It was awesome for the few seconds it was there. But the next segment was the one I just mentioned earlier. Dario Cueto and Black Lotus were back at the over 300 miles far from the temple or whatever, and we still heard people screaming. So either Matanza is killing more people, or it's just the same people he's basically been mauling for the past month and a half, since the first episode of Lucha Underground. It'd be funny. I would hate to be those guys, but Cueto basically said it was time to return to the temple, to take back his temple, and then he unlocked the door. And out came Matanza, and God, Matanza is freaking huge. I don't know how good he is in the ring. We have yet to see that aspect, but it's still it's still up to us, I guess, to decide whether or not he's good or not. But he's a big jacked up dude. Of course, he's in a mask because the real wrestler that plays Matanza. Thank God it was not the Great Khali. It was actually a guy named Jeff Cobb who wrestled on plenty of dark matches during the first season of Lucha Underground. And he came out, he had blood all over him. This guy, and Monster on the Monster Sounds Off, Monster said it best. This guy looks like freaking Bane. He looks like Bane. A mask, he's got blood all over him, he looks like he's in an asylum, and he's all jacked up to hell. Yeah, he's Bane. That to me was awesome. He at least has that awesome aura of character around him. Maybe even more than Mil Muertes, now that I think about it. Then came the best part of the night. The match between Mil Muertes and Phoenix. Mil Muertes defending the Lucha Underground Championship against Phoenix. Phoenix turning in his Gift of the Gods Championship for the shot. He made that very clear the week before. As far as the match goes, it was yet another war. It was yet another goddamn war between these two. Phoenix again got all bloodied up. His mask again was torn up. But then later in the match, Phoenix tore up Mil's mask. I almost kind of forgot that Mil Muertes had hair and that he was played by El Messias, or Judas Messias if from TNA. Kind of forgot the fact he had hair. Probably dumbass move on my part, I know, but still, it was very awesome. The match itself was great. Definitely a big man versus little man match. It was awesome. It was bloody. It told a great story. Katrina did not get involved. It was a clean win. I don't know what else to say. Sorry for that. It's the morning still. Phoenix beat Muertes for the title, and I loved it. It was definitely a feel-good moment. Now, hopefully he doesn't lose the title next week, or if he does, he needs to stay strong, but that leads into the last part of the night. Now, I was under the impression that Aztec Warfare was going to defeat B for the title anyway, like it was last year. This year, originally, it was announced that it would just be a number one contendership, probably at Ultima Lucha. But, not the case, as Katrina had, right after the match, announced that Phoenix would defend the title in Aztec Warfare. Phoenix would come in at number 1, Muertes would come in at number 20. Now, I mentioned there was a 21st participant. Because I read part of the spoilers thanks to Lundrick. Thank you, you asshole. And I don't know who wins, but because I didn't look up the names. I only know what I know so far, but I get the feeling that if Dario Cueto says that he's coming back to reclaim his temple, why do I get the feeling he's going to use Matanza to do it? That's what I'm predicting. As far as the prediction of who actually wins the match, I don't know. This is the kind of match that's really hard to choose who should win. If I had to choose a person to win the match, God, Pentagon and Puma just lost. Mundo, not there yet. At least not anymore. Because he's still feuding with Cage. He never, after that match with Taya Valkyrie, Cage didn't fight Mundo again yet. God. I only see a couple options. I see Phoenix winning. Phoenix dropping the title back to Muertes, which I hope to God doesn't happen because Muertes just lost the title. What will be the point of putting it back on him? Or does Matanza get in on this shit? Is Matanza actually in the match? I don't really know. But my prediction is Phoenix winning. Phoenix needs to win. Not needs to, but Phoenix, it would be a big up boost to his career if Phoenix won. Now, if Phoenix were to lose, he has to be strong in losing. He has to be at least in the final 4, final 3. Like, probably the final 4. If he's in that final 4, I'd be fine with him losing, because at least he went up to the end. Like how several times number 1, the Royal Rumble, would go to the end. Chris Jericho, Dolph Ziggler. So with that said, guys, that's Lucha Underground last week. Tonight, I am definitely gonna watch the show. I'm gonna watch it as live as I could possibly make it. With that said, guys, hope you guys have fun with the Aztec Warfare contest. And just, be well, stay safe, and I'll see you later, guys.